Hello and welcome. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. I decided to do this video outside because it is sunny today, although it's kind of windy, but doesn't matter. This video might be a bit scattered because I'm outside, so I do apologize beforehand. As I said, we're gonna talk about the programming. The programming is nothing else and nothing more than your thought process, your behavior, your triggers, and things like this. There is soft programming and hard programming, and it usually starts from childhood, actually from your parents. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be upset. You can be upset, but there is no need to be upset with your parents because they also been brought up in the same way, so they wouldn't know, and they only can pass down to you their experiences. If they haven't worked on themselves, they wouldn't know. So there is no need to play this game of who is guilty. Programming, as I said, starts from childhood, starts at home, starts in nursery and in school, and then later on in the workplace. And generally, programming is also everywhere around us. And why is that? It is because if everybody would truly be free to think and do what they want, probably the population would be uncontrollable. So there might be programs or behaviors which are useful, like how to behave, teaching people manners. Although I always say that everything which comes from the heart and from love, it's more important, because then it's gonna shine through. Just a second. As I said, everything what comes from the heart is more powerful than any manners, because it's gonna shine through, and if people don't take it in the right way, it's because of their ego, probably because they too stuck up or held up on the way one should or shouldn't behave. Although, as I said, it is good to have some manners, generally. So, as I said, programming not necessarily is always bad. What is bad is, let's say, when we go to the school already, and then you already being taught kind of what is a work day. So you are there for, let's say, 6 to 8 hours with breaks, which is not up to you but up to the company, the school. Also, you have to learn lots of information which is really not useful in real life, and I came to think that the whole purpose of it is to take this information as truth, and then say it out, give it out the same way, thinking that is truth. So we kind of already losing our habits, because we never even learned it, how to think for ourselves, how to eliminate information being useful, not useful, and we just repeating things we've been taught to repeat. So I think this is the first flaw you have to look out for. Now, the other thing is coming from your family, their behavior. It might be their morals. So believe it or not, your morals is probably been passed down through your family. So your morals is mostly the same as your family morals, or work ethic, or all these things. So you will need to question those two if it's not working out for you. How can you question it, or how can you look at it? If at this moment in life you find that the things you are doing, the way you are doing them, and the way you are thinking or expressing yourself is not really beneficial for you, so you're not moving ahead in life the way you want to. You really have to look at your programming and your mindset, and you have to look at the people you're listening to, and and you can see that this mindset, this behavior, where did it leave them? So did they achieve what they wanted to achieve? Is this the same thing you want to achieve in your life, or is it something different? If it's the same, probably you could follow their ways. If it's something else, most likely their advice, their way of thinking and programming is not gonna be really useful for you. So you can make your distinction already here. Now, when you can be sure that the programming is not working for you, it is actually, this is already like a negative word. I gonna, like, let's say when they tell you that you are a rebel, like a difficult child, what does it mean? It means that you are not behaving the same way as any other child, and that's why you are difficult. So it's already kind of it has like a bad vibe to it, a touch to it. Also, then you get later on the rebel. Again, what does it mean? You go against something which is already established. Now again, it can be good and bad. And then later on again, you get like things like the midlife crisis, which usually comes up in your midlife. Again, like almost the last point when your soul kind of screaming at you, saying that this kind of living, these thoughts, these feelings, this way of doing things is not beneficial for you. You cannot develop, you cannot grow. So these are the things you have to look at. Obviously, when they tell you that you are a difficult child, you can't really do anything about it because you are just a kiddo, and they probably just take it as truth. Later on, that's why we have to go back later on when we are able to think about these things and detach. We have to try to detach from it, like not emotionally think about it, but like just like almost scientifically. So detach from it and evaluate these kind of happenings and behaviors. That would be my advice to you regarding that. It is almost. It's really hard to really see your programming. So I would suggest that you write down your thoughts, your ethics. It could be anything regarding how you accept or how you discard information, and this information, how, what I mean when you discard it, is it why is it because it's coming from a certain person, or most likely it is, or is it like really something you just don't want to follow, and you always have to ask why, and then you have to kind of unravel this mystery of you through this. Now, what I mean that you have to unravel what I mean is you have to look at it from the point of now. How is it affecting your life? Is it make your life better? Is it make your life harder? Does it make you feel miserable? So you have to think about these things and feel it and kind of meditate on it also. But let's not get into meditation just now. Just really try to evaluate it as much as you can on your own, because you will see that there are certain programs which on paper work, and maybe they are working for some other people in your friends and family circle, but definitely not working for you. And then you have to ask yourself, and that is like the main thing to look at, you have to ask yourself that, is it worth following this then? Or not? I'm not saying that it is not a valuable lesson or an advice, but it's not necessarily valuable for you. So just try to think about like that. Also, when you realize this, that most of the advice or information you're getting from others, it's not necessarily, or I would say 60% is not even beneficial for you. You will have to learn how to softly, gently, from the outside, but inside really strongly resist it, and basically saying it that, oh, thank you very much for them, but you're not gonna take this on without them being upset, because again, they probably want what's the best for you, people, most likely, but they can only give you advice from their experience and the way they think. So that's not necessarily is gonna work for you. So you will have to try to think for you and evaluate your feelings and your motivation and your goals and your ethics and so on and so on. So yeah, this is not an easy task, but it's definitely is doable. What else is there to say? So as I said, I would suggest to really try to write down your programming and start to evaluate it. And in the next video, I am going to give you some sample sentences, and then we're gonna get into how to create from something negative a positive, also how to kind of just let it go, like really let it go, because I'm sure you heard this a million times, let it go. Well, this is also easy to say, not so easy to do till you don't know how to do it, like truly. So that is also coming from practice. Oh, so nice. And so that's it really. So let me just recap what I was talking about. So programming is coming from family, from nursery, school, work environment, family and friends. Again, we're most likely to take on board things we hear from people we are emotionally attached to, so it's gonna be family and friends. But it doesn't mean that those programs are beneficial for us. So then we can look at them and evaluate it in this moment in time in our life to see if these programs can be useful for us. If we follow this advice, are we gonna benefit from it or grow from it? And also to see if those programs, those people are so keenly sharing with you all the time, or information or advice, if they really following through what they're saying, or they just keep saying the same stuff and it's not working from them either. So this is very important. So you really have to be able to look at this in a detached way, so not from do not get emotional with this when you evaluate this. You just really have to look at it like you would look at sheet of information. Then you will be able to work on it through your heart. But that's not what we are doing here at the moment. So you do that, okay. Also, most likely, depending on your programming, you might dismiss advice, information straight on because it is not in sync with your mindset, with your morals and so on. But it might be also, regardless, useful information, but you're just not going to take it on because your program is different. So you really have to look at these things quite a lot to be able to make sense and to work through it on your own for yourself. I'm not saying that it is impossible, I'm just saying that it is taking a lot of time, because the longer you live, the stronger your program. And also, if you haven't tried to change it before, then you're gonna fail time and time again, but in the end you will succeed, that's for sure. The only thing is not to give up and keep changing, keep look at yourself, keep looking at others and the way they behave and the things they say, and to really see if they follow through, or they may be just repeating old thought patterns they learn from their family, and they might be absolutely miserable and like burnt out, yet they would still fight for this kind of way of thinking, and then you can be you can be sure that this is not for you, and also it's not for them, but you know, this is about you. So then with a light heart you can say that okay, I can let it go and just continue to work on myself and to find new paths for myself. So that would be my advice for me. It is an ongoing thing, I must say, because your programming is daily through radio, TV, people, communication with people. You will see how many people are talking about uplifting things and how many are talking about negative things. Also, what is communication or chit chat? Mostly it's I wish there would be more people who would talk about the beautiful things when they do the chit chat, and not kind of offload all the negative things on you under the disguise of conversation. Well, I don't know about that. What you think about this? Well, anyhow, this is my thoughts for this topic. I'm gonna get into more detail later on. I thank you very much for watching this, and I wish you a beautiful day. See you next Monday. Bye now.